Hey everybody, Jinza here, and welcome to another week of Small Bytes Plus. So this week we're going to be having a look at another free-to-play game that's recently popped up on Steam. This game is still in early access, so everything is subject to change. Things might get better, things might get worse. Who knows? Only time will tell. But we are going to be having a look at Brainbread 2. Which, if you're familiar with the Half-Life mods back in the day, there was a mod called Brainbread, and obviously this is its spiritual successor. So before we get into it and see how good it is, we will have a quick look at the options. You've got all your rebindable keys, you've got all your mouse sensitivity, you can even play with a gamepad if you so desire. You have audio controls, you can turn all your mic on and off because it does have in-game mic, which is quite nice. Obviously I've turned it off for this just so I don't annoy my teammates with me talking to you guys, though that probably would make for quite an interesting video and probably would get some rage, but we won't go there. You have all your video options and I turn motion blur off because that's horrible, and all your pretty limited. It's not the worst in the world. I mean, I think most people are going to be able to crank this right up because it's not the most graphically sound game. It has okay graphics, probably sort of very similar to Counter-Strike. It's similar to Half-Life 2, basically. So the graphics are not really too demanding, which is okay. It does mean there's going to be a bigger player base for this. And you got all your performance where you can turn gore and all on and off. And you also have a bit of a customization options for a character. I don't know if you unlock more as you level up, because this does have persistent levels involved in this game, and we'll get into that when we actually get into the game. But for now, it's limited. You can basically make a semi-unique character that may be slightly different to other people's semi-unique characters. So this game apparently is boasting that it's going to have cross-multiplayer platforms, so you may end up seeing this on consoles, but obviously I think that's a bit of a stretch, to be honest. It also does say it's going to have a local co-op. I don't believe that's in here now. I'm pretty sure create a game. I will have to test that out, because Tan is a big fan of zombie shooters, so maybe we might come back to this for a co-op quick battle. So we'll have a look at that maybe another time on a Saturday when we come back. But let's actually have a look at my first impressions of this game. So the main core of this game is all server-based. You can set up your own server, or you can play on some of these official ones or other strange ones that people have made that have all their own custom rules and that set. There are currently 3 different types of game mode: Deathmatch, Arena and Objective, and they work exactly how you would expect. Deathmatch is teams against teams or all against all, depending on how the server is set up. Arena is a sort of horde survival mode. That's pretty a good mode for if you just want to do some local co-op brain dead fun, as you kind of imagine. And Objective is exactly how it sounds. It is objective based. So Objective and Arena are probably my 2 favourite ones, but that's personal preference. I prefer Objective games over Deathmatch games because I get quite easily bored with Deathmatch games. So we're going to have a quick find of an Objective server. That one's not too bad ping, so we will connect up to that one. And server is full. That is no fair. We was only just having a look. So okay, let's try a different one. Let's try it. No, don't want to do the Korean one. Korean grinding. That's an Arena. You know what? We're jumping to Arena just because the Arena is quite fun as well. It will make it a bit more difficult to show you what on earth is going on, but that is okay. So as you can see, as we're waiting to spawn in, there is basically people going crazy trying to kill everything, and as soon as you spawn in, I would grab a weapon as quick as possible, and you have to hold off. So in Arena, everybody plays as the little commando humans with weapons, and you basically have to hold off against either zombies or against, as you can see there, bandits, which they have guns and shoot you. But they also will shoot the zombies, and the zombies will try and kill those. So it's kind of a freeway massacre kind of thingy like that. This server may change after this, so we've only got like 2 minutes to survive. So we can have a quick talk about some of the in-game things while we do this. So each character, well, your profile, you have you get levels depending. You get levels for being zombies, and you get levels for being the humans. And when you get a level, you get points, and points obviously mean prizes. For some reason it won't let me, oh there we go, keep it up, there we go. So as you can see, I've got no points left, but I have increased some of my proficiency in different weapons. You can get passive stats that allow you to shoot randomly shoot like different rounds off, like freezing bullets and fire rounds. You can upgrade your health and your defense, and basically it's all passive stuff. So there are some ultimate abilities, so your firearms will be deadlier, but everything in this section is passive, which is a bit disappointing. I'd like to see maybe toggle on, being able to upgrade to toggle ons and toggle off, so you could like have a, I don't know, you have a, I guess it wouldn't be called a mana gauge, but something similar to a mana gauge, where you could like get an ability that could toggle off and on different bullets, or maybe someone could heal, stuff like that, just to make it a bit more interesting. Because passive stats is, as nice as it is, and you do feel like your character's a bit strong, it's a bit lazy and it's a bit boring. It doesn't really give you anything to work towards. It's just, hey, look, I've got stronger, yay. I'm stronger than I was a level ago. Whoa, I have 2% increase. It's a bit boring. And the zombies are even worse. The zombies need some really, real good amount of TLC. The zombies have one attack, because obviously with the humans you can pick up different guns and different weapons, and you can, different preference. So if if you're a person that likes shotguns, you can get a shotgun and have fun sliding around and going up close and popping stuff in the face, or using twin pistols, or just batting stuff with a ball and stuff. A bat. So so the humans work quite nicely, but the zombies, basically they can run up to you and punch you, and that is it. Everything else for them is exactly as standard. It's passive, so you can increase their health, you can increase their defense, you can increase their speed slightly. As for the AI zombies, there's only two types of AI zombie. There is one where they walk slow like a normal zombie, and then there's the ones that walk slightly faster, and that is about it. So it looks like this server's switched to an objective-based one, as I thought, so we can have a look at that. I have done this level a couple of times, so I'm not sure how many different levels there are. I've played 2 different levels for objectives at the moment, and that is about it. For jumping, you do, just to tell you, you do have to do crouch jumping, if anybody remembers that. It is a bit of an old school thing to do, where you have to crouch and jump to sort of gain momentum to get over things, because jumping at stuff just won't do it. It does sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. So bear that in mind. But yeah, objectives, I've played 2 different levels. The objectives sometimes do change. So this time, last time I played it, as I might have mentioned, I can't remember if I did, but I played this level and it was capture the, I think it was bookstore, and now this time it's find and retrieve the briefcase. The AI zombies respawn back really fast, so trying to push through the level is kind of tedious. It's not the most interesting things, and occasionally you'll have another player zombie run at you. You can get infected in this game, so you have to be careful about getting hit, and it's kind of the game's way of saying, hey, there's not enough zombies, we're going to turn some of the human players into zombies, which is quite nice. But as I said before, the zombies are really quite boring to play as, and the novelty wears off really quick. You'll probably have quite a bit of fun to start with and be like, oh, I'm a zombie, I'm hitting people and running off around with other zombies. But the AI, it doesn't do a lot to help you. They kind of get up, they walk towards the nearest target, and probably get mowed down like all this. And the humans will actually just sit here and just grind, because obviously, as I said, you get XP. So if you just grind on the zombies, you eventually can level up and get stronger. Whereas the zombies are going to have a very hard time when there's 5 odd players sat here shooting, because they're not very fast, and as I said before, they don't really have any abilities. Well, they don't have any. They can punch, which is like that. They can just do that, and that's all they can do. So they do need some TLC. It would be nice to see maybe some zombies with different abilities, and it'd be nice to see that some of the humans be able to set up as like medics, and you know, maybe someone could throw ammo packs down. Just be able to spend your points on something that's not just passives, because passives, honestly guys, who likes passives? It's nice just to be a bit stronger, but it doesn't really make you feel like you've progressed your character at all. Some of the passives are quite handy, as you can get ones that give you a chance to restore ammunition and stuff like that. But for the most part, you need to stack them very high to actually make them effective. So you're not really going to be feeling like you're getting very far. And that's the problem with this game. It does need a lot of TLC. As I said, it is in early access, so this is stuff that may come down later down the road. But as of now, it's just not the most interesting of things to be happening. Right, so we're going to follow this guy in and help him out. As we just mow down everything in our path, and random zombie climbing. So as you can see, jumping is what I talked about. You need to be able to do crouch jumping, which is kind of the name of the business. And that's pretty much this game in a nutshell. I mean, there's not really much else I can say to it. It does have a nice soundtrack. The music does seem to disappear every now and again and just not come back on. The weapons, they do feel quite nice. They do feel quite meaty, and like they do everything. As you can see, I slid there and I'm actually stuck now. So I actually had to pull up my inventory to pop out. And that is another problem. Be careful about doing the sliding. It is a nice little thingy, but it kind of doesn't work too well. Also now I'm infected, so before we disappear, because there's not really much else to talk about this game, we will just have a look at the zombies, just so I can show you what I'm on about, how just unfair the zombies have. Obviously they have numbers, but there we go. So I'm a zombie now, and now we can basically eat people. Well, not even eat people, we can punch them with our fists. And they can kick us in the face and shoot us. And that is about it. And there you go. That was a zombie. That was me being a zombie. So you can follow the other zombies around. Obviously you can see where all the survivors are. It doesn't actually look like there's any other zombies. So that is all players against... Oh, there's one there. Against me and one other guy. Crouch jump, crouch jump. Oh, we got him. So Dave the zombie got someone. And this is pretty much it. So the zombies just have to stop the people getting the objective. But most of the time, obviously with random groups, players don't tend to do what you would imagine they do. So they tend to not... Oh, okay, we're going to die. But they tend to actually not go for the objective, so they end up losing anyway. So if you are zombies, you get a free win, which gives you a nice lot of XP, but... As I said before, the zombies are a bit boring to play, as they don't really feel like they do much. You can run around and hit people. So we probably might be able to get this guy if we're lucky. Or turn him into a zombie. And you see he's faster than us, so we couldn't get up. The zombies do have their own skill tree, as you can see here. Looks like we've randomly changed back to being a person. There is a zombie here to me there, but I don't really care. So as you can see, this is the zombies. And the zombie skill tree isn't actually as big as the humans one either. So if you have a look here, they can increase their jump, they can increase damage when they're all together, and that's about it. There is nothing really more to it. So the zombies do need, I say, a good amount of work to make them just interesting to play as, because when you spawn as a zombie, like especially when you first come into the game, you're not going to want to be a zombie again, and it does make people end up leaving the game, which makes it very unbalanced. And also, you're probably going to have a lot more fun with this if you get an organised group together. Normal players just tend to run around aimlessly and not really do an awful lot, which is a bit of a downside, really. Yeah, so this was Brainbread 2. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, it's free to play, so you've got nothing to lose, and you might get some good enjoyment out of it. I'll probably end up playing a little bit more of it, just because it's just fun killing zombies. Who doesn't like killing zombies? I mean, the market for these games is quite vast, and it does do it really well. As I was saying before, the guns do feel nice. It's just my worst gripe with this game is just how boring the zombies are to play as. As you can see, he's just going to run around. He might get a guy, but no, he's got massacred. There's nothing he could do. So that's is a bit of a problem. And games like Left 4 Dead do the playing as the zombies much better than this game. I mean, just playing as a bog standard normal zombie is a bit boring, really. They tend to work quite well if you're in the. I don't know if it's very similar to a deathmatch mode where you have to basically there's some survivors and you all spawn at different points, and it's best to try and get together and help each other up, because they work a lot better when there's like narrow corridors and they're with the AI zombies. But places like this where they're out in the open, I mean, it's hard to sneak around and get another player. So that also makes it really hard to level up your zombie. So you're not going to get very strong very fast. I did actually put some points on zombies because I played a zombie a couple of times, but it doesn't look like it's actually increased anything on there. So yeah, so this was Brainbread 2. I definitely recommend checking out and just seeing what you think. You know, you might, like I said, you might get a good bit of enjoyment out of it. It's definitely something to follow and see where it goes in the future, especially if they start adding more stuff and sort of polishing things off. And like I said, if they added where your talent tree did actual proper skills and activatables where you could, press your number keys, and rather than just having like weapon switches, because you've got the mouse for that. I mean, you can use the mouse for switching, so maybe put some sort of different talents on there. So you could build characters different to make it a bit more team-based rather than just run around, shoot stuff, and hope your team does what the objective says to do. So yeah, I will see you next week for another Small Bytes Plus. I hope you enjoyed this one and I piqued your interest for a new game. You know what to do. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.